Hi there, this is Jason, and I'm here to help you setting up your first email account using your own internet service provider. In my example, I'm using Afrihost as my internet service provider, and they've been providing me with internet for a number of years now, and I'm pretty happy with their service. I'm so happy with their service that I've decided to leave another internet service provider that was hosting some websites of mine, and I've moved it to Afrihost. I just feel like it's better to keep everything under one umbrella, and this way I can manage my payments only with a single service that's providing me with multiple services. So in order for us to continue with this, we first need to sign into your Afrihost client zone page. Here you'll find various amounts of links on the page, and you can then choose from here where it is that you want to go. The very first place that we're going to go to in order to set up your own personalized email account is to hosting services. Okay, right. So let's go ahead and click on our hosting to sign up for a new package. By clicking on this, you click on it, then it will provide you with the next screen where you can choose whether you are going to sign up for a new one or you can simply edit an existing one. As you can see, I've got two packages listed here. We'll get a little bit into that once we get to that step. But for now, all we're doing is we are signing up for a new hosting package. So simply click on the link. Very well. Once we get to the screen, you'll be presented with the various options. And the option that I'm going with is the Linux shared hosting because it's actually the cheapest option. By clicking on this, it will give you additional options to select from. This is now with inside your package. You can either choose to be silver, gold, or platinum. I'm simply going with silver. It's the best option to start with because you can always upgrade at a later stage and even downgrade at another stage. But bearing in mind, if you are downgrading from a gold package to a silver package and you are using 2 gigs of space, for example, there might be a problem with regards to how you handle the emails that will be lost and or the data that will be lost because you are going from a bigger package to a smaller package. So it's always good to start with a smaller package and see how much you use, and you can always manage your space as you move along. You can see that its normal price is 79 Rand per month. However, because we are signing up so late in the month, it's only going to bill me now 10 Rand 19 cents. So once we are happy with that step, you can go ahead and click on the next button. So these options, I've never ever signed up with this, and to be honest, I am a software developer myself, so I really don't need this, and I can go ahead and create this. But even for the standard user that really just wants to have their own personalized email account, you don't need to sign up for this. So I'm not going to say sign me up. I'm rather going to say not right now. These are things that you can also add at a later stage. And as you can see, it is quite expensive. So I'm definitely not going with this. So I'm going to say not right now. Once that is completed, you can choose the option of a new domain because this is a new domain that you are signing up for. So I'll say new domain. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'll be signing up for a domain called coop.co.za. Right, what the system will do now is, or at least what Afrihost will do now, is they will search and see, is this domain available? And if it is available, it will give us the green tick, I suppose. Let's just wait for this to complete. This, by the way, is called your domain. When you have a www in front of it, then that is called a web address. Now, in most cases, you'll actually see that the full website address is actually hidden from you or it's shown to you. If you go into a website, in 99 times out of 100, it's going to be a www anyway. It's only when you start going a little bit deeper in, then it's going to go to a subdomain, and that's just a website space within a website. It's perfectly fine to do that. As you can see, coop.co.za is actually available. It's a funny set of characters that I've always admired. It looks like Dilbert if you look at it a little bit closely, just with his ears sticking out, but that's just something funny. I'm going to go ahead and actually sign up for that. So let's go ahead and continue to the next step. So in the next step, you'll be presented with your hosting billing address. This is purely just to state that your website address, the billing details, this is where it's going to go. Now I have obfuscated the details a little bit, just so that it's not showing exactly where I am. The only thing that's really true here is that it's in South Africa, probably. Right, so once you click on the next button, now I don't really want to update my details, so I'm going to just sort of refresh this page. I'll pause it for now and we can see what the next step is going to look like. So once I clicked on the next step, this is what I'm presented with. So now I'm presented with the cart details of what it is that I'm actually purchasing and what I'm going to be paying right now. You'll also see that there is a yearly renewal that happens over here, and that happens automatically. There is a monthly charge that gets added to your monthly billing on your internet by your internet service provider on your regular bill, and it will also show that because it's the pro rata rate, this is the discount that gets applied to it right now, and I only need to pay 10 rand 19 cents right now. Its usual amount is 79 rand, and once you're done you can go ahead and click on the checkout button, and either the payment happens right now or it gets billed to your card at a separate stage. This is just really completing the billing of the services that you have just purchased. Right, so once that is complete, give it a day or two before you come back to it again. Basically, what needs to happen, the service that you have purchased needs to propagate to all of the DNSs that is between you and wherever else. So this just gives it a little bit of a chance for the domain to be sort of registered with the various DNS servers that's set up all over. Um, it's it's just a safeguard to ensure that everything is already set up and is ready for you to use. So once that is completed, you go back to hosting. Now you should see Coop listed over here. Now I didn't actually complete the payment on Coop because I don't think I need it right now. It was purely just a fun one. But I'm going to go do the same, what you're about to do with your domain. You'll follow along with your own one. So I'll do it here with mine. I'm going to use hosted api.co.za, and I'll click on that. It will then be presented to me with various options that I can choose as to what I can do with that domain. I can either go ahead and do a website manager where I can add WordPress to my site, or I can add Drupal, or these are just various platforms or various frameworks that you can use to host a website. You can do spam experts, edit package, domain registrant, and hosting settings. But the only thing that we're really interested in is the manage mail. So if I click on manage mail, it will now present me with a button where I can click to add an email account. So if I click on add mailbox, okay, you'll then be presented with this dialog where it asks you for your mailbox details. Now, I'm going to actually use the details that's actually on the screen at the moment. That's just placeholder text right there, so you have to actually fill it in. And I'm going to put in John Doe as my name. And what I'll do is, for the mailbox name, you only need to specify the first portion of your email account, and that I'm going to use is John Doe. As you can see, there's only a one password field here. Now, in order for you to know what it is that you've typed into that email, into that password field, what I normally do is I put it in some app where I can plainly see it. And the app that I'm using at the moment, it is called Notepad++. It's just a popular text editor that I like to use, where you can open up multiple text files and so on. But Notepad works perfectly fine. So what I'll do is I'll copy that complicated password over there, and then I'll paste it in my password text box provided. I know for a fact that it is that, because I copy and pasted. It's 100% that, and I don't have to see what it was. I can simply just have a look at my text here to see what it is. For the sake of ensuring that you don't forget this, just save this somewhere for the first few times, or have some sort of password app that you can use to actually store it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to specify what's the maximum size of this email account. Because it's just a one email account, really, I'll put it to the maximum, which is 1 GB, and then we can add the mailbox. That will go off and actually create the mailbox. Once that mailbox is created, you can actually go ahead and have a look at that mailbox. You'll actually see the details should update you on top of the screen, which will tell you now that you have one of 50 email accounts that you are currently using. You have a total allowed space of actually 1.95 gigs. Why it's that amount, I'm not quite sure, but your quota for that email account is 1 GB. Once you reach that limit, it will sort of tell you that your mailbox is full and you'd have to clear it up. Now, your online mailbox is purely there just so that if you sign into another machine somewhere else with that same email account, it will start downloading all of the mails that is stored in the online email box. But you can specify the settings in your email client that when you download an email, that it is now stored on your local machine and no longer stored on the remote machine. This is the remote machine storage. So you are only limited to online storage of 1 GB, but locally, however big your hard drive is, that is how much storage you can use. So it would be good to keep just the important emails there. How you manage that, not quite sure. You'll have to play around with the email account, but this is just to get you started. And if you want to get the settings for this email account, you should see it over here on the mailbox information. This is if you want to edit the mailbox, and this is if you want to delete the mailbox. So by us clicking on the information of the mailbox, it will give us the full details of the email account. Of course, it won't show the password because you should know what the password is. That's just a password that you stored somewhere else, and here's all the relevant settings for your mail account. You can also download this how to configure steps, and that is purely just to assist you in setting up your email account with various email clients. And that's it basically. That is how you set up your own domain email account that you can use going forward. Please note that you'd probably, if you move to a different email service provider, there is steps that you can take to migrate from one ISP to another, but it would be best to just stick with this one, and this way Afrihost actually keeps you as a client. So you must just bear that in mind, that the service that you go with, it should be the service that you're going to stay with and you feel comfortable with, because for as long as your email account is alive, this is how long you sort of should be with that internet service provider. And that's it. That's how you set up an email account. I'm wishing you guys the best of luck. Cheers.